Thank you, guys. Thank you. Hi, guys. How are you doing? Good? Yeah, good. So I recently got back. Do people know the Edinburgh Comedy Festival? Yeah. So I recently got back from the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, did my first show there for the first debut show. And it was such a buzz for me because it actually marked what was an incredible 12 months in my career. So for a bit of context, in August last year, I actually quit my job where I'd been for 3 years to give the comedy a go full time. Oh no, that normally gets a round of applause. That's quite brave. So I've really been working away at it since then. And in January, I actually got an offer that I really couldn't say no to. So I took it. And I'm really happy to be able to tell you guys tonight that as of about 4 months ago, I'm now back working in the same job I left last August. Yeah. Thanks, yeah. So they still had the hours available. I'd completely miscalculated how much money it costs to stay alive. And so it was win-win in a way. So it's been quite awkward going back because I'd made quite a big exit, quite a big leaving speech. And people have been coming up to me and saying things like, "Oh, hi, Joe, you're back quite soon." For someone who sent an email with the subject line, "I'm leaving forever to pursue my dream." There's been some positives about going back. I can afford food and toiletries again. For a while I had to pick. And also, in a weird way, the whole situation has made me feel better about Brexit. Because I think we're going to do as a country exactly what I did as a person. I think 3 months after we leave the EU, we're going to be actually, we got a bit overexcited, didn't we? I got a bit carried away. It's not actually that much fun being poor after all. And then we're going to walk back in the EU, make some awkward, strained small talk about how the coffee machine's still not working like I did. And everything's going to be fine. So Brexit's going to be fine, guys. Get us off on a nice positive note. I am actually feeling very positive at the moment. I went on antidepressants earlier in the year. So I went on antidepressants partly because the world seems quite bleak at the moment, Brexit, austerity, global warming. And I just wondered if the world was actually that bleak or whether I had some sort of medical condition. And I've been on them for a while now, and it turns out the world is that bleak. But now I don't care. I'm feeling pretty positive about things. I'm feeling pretty positive about social media. I was a bit anxious about social media for a while. A lot of my friends deleted Facebook because they didn't Cambridge Analytica stuff, what it was doing with their personal data. I haven't deleted Facebook, but I've been fighting back against Facebook for the last 5 years or so, just by doing nothing interesting with my life whatsoever. Not appearing in photos, not hitting any milestones, basically not leaving the house. Just to give Mark Zuckerberg nothing to work with. It's comforting for me to know that if Facebook sold my personal data, they'd probably have to throw in a free pen. To sort of sweeten the deal. I remember my Facebook 2017 Facebook year in review montage video was me voting in the general election and changing my password twice. All set to really sentimental music. It was actually quite moving. But it's not just Facebook that sells our personal data. Every app on your phone is selling your personal data. Spotify is just a music player, but it's tracking you wherever you go. It's selling your GPS location. And I do like Spotify in a lot of ways. It's really cheap. It doesn't pay the musicians very much, which is great, because the best art comes from struggle. But I didn't like the fact that it was selling on my personal data, so I was going to delete Spotify. But then I was listening to an album on Spotify in bed recently, and after the album I was listening to finished, Spotify made the most beautiful mix that anyone has ever made for me. Has anyone experienced this? A sort of automatic playlist thing, it sort of makes a mix based on your personal data. Listening to it was the first time in my life that I'd ever felt understood. That anyone had even made the effort to understand me. And I was just immediately so glad that I'd given it all my personal data. I wanted to give it more. I wanted to tell it everywhere I was before I downloaded it. Middlesbrough in Spain. And like, and it also made me feel a bit better about being single, because like I think like in a few years' time, like marrying robots is going to be like very much on the cards, you know. And if a robot can make me feel as loved as that Spotify mix did, that's going to be a beautiful marriage, you know. Like, and I think like if it can make a mix like that, it wouldn't even have to look particularly human, you know. I'd happily get married to a sort of Henry the Hoover type thing, you know, like. If it could make a mix as good as that. But I'm going to end on one more positive, if that's so, like just the yes. I'm feeling pretty positive about things. I'm feeling pretty positive about Theresa May. So Theresa May like got a lot of a bad rap. She was like known as quite a bad prime minister. She wasn't great in some ways, but she, like I've been like looking back, and she's better than what we've got now. You know, she did try her best. Like in there, like obviously she messed a few things up, but like Theresa May in her time, she actually did a lot for equality in many ways. Like, and while she was prime minister, we actually did make a lot of progress in some like real key areas. Like nowadays, there's so much more diversity in the homeless population. Honestly, when I first came to London, like I've been in London 10 years. When I first came to London, there was only one homeless person on my street, and he was white, male. He was probably straight, I didn't ask. But now I walk down my street, and there's loads of homeless people. And it's a real melting pot. You know, like there's so many different cultures and ethnicities. Like it's obviously become a lot more of an inclusive environment. You know, like, and I know what you're thinking. We've still got work to do. You know, we're not there yet. But I am also really encouraged that we seem to be seeing a lot more women beggars. You know, and like Theresa May as a female prime minister can be so proud that she helped so many women break through that glass floor. You know, like I've been Joseph Bates. Thank you very much.